Midnight circuits on. Heartbeat in the mix. Turn it on loud. Today fix. On the rhythm. Can't resist the play. Just one more hit up. The daily fix. Feel that voltage kick. The daily fix. Too loud, too quick. From DC to the strip. Let the bass line stick. I don't want love. I want my daily fix.
In USA, many women meet in a groups called the feminists. I find them all gently.
Women in this country still make 77 cents on the dollar for what men make. So if women don't make less than men?
Actually, if you start looking at the numbers, Rachel, there are lots of reasons for that.
Wait, no.
I have a thing about feminine rage.
First time ever.
Feminism is really bad in the UK. Isn't that right, Mr. Hat?
Woke culture is saying otherwise, though.
But that's not true. If so,
let Rachel make her point.
Every greedy businessman in America would hire only women, save 25%, and be hugely profitable.
I feel like this is actually, it's weird that you're interrupting me.
Ms. Heard acted with actual malice. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes.
I could not concentrate on what this old man was saying.
Do we take the black pill or the pink pill? What exactly is feminism?
Feminism is a range of socio-political movements and ideologies that aim to define and establish the political, economic, personal, and social equality of the sexes. Feminism holds the position that modern societies are patriarchal and that they prioritize the male point of view and that women are treated unjustly in these societies. A person who advocates for feminism is known as a feminist. Calling masculinity toxic has been one of the most destructive cultural campaigns of the last several decades. Traditional masculinity, strength, stoicism, protectiveness, provision, risk-taking, leadership within the family was all the backbone of a stable household and of functional societies. By reframing these traits as inherently harmful, activists and institutions pathologized normal male behavior. Modern feminism, particularly in the second and third wave and post-2010 forms, has compounded this damage by treating the traditional family as a site of oppression and casting homemaking and child-rearing as a second-class role. It encouraged women to prioritize career, autonomy, and self-actualization above marriage and children. Divorce laws, no-fault regimes, and cultural messaging that framed men as the problem made it easier to exit marriages rather than sustain them. The ideal complementary sex roles, man as provider and protector, woman as nurturer, was replaced by zero-sum view in which any male advantage was patriarchy and any female sacrifice for family was internalized oppression. Birth rates collapsed in the West. Single motherhood became normalized despite its correlation with poorer outcomes for children, and the social fabric frayed. The left-wing woke agenda accelerated and institutionalized both trends through academia, media, corporate DEI, and government policy. It elevated toxic masculinity from fringe academic jargon into mainstream dogma taught in schools and workplaces. It fused feminine grievance with identity politics, framing Western civilization, the nuclear family, and biological sex differences themselves as systems of oppression. Gender ideology further eroded the family by denying the binary nature of sex, promoting medicalization of minors, and treating parental authority as suspect when it conflicts with progressive orthodoxy. Woke institutions reward grievance and punish traditional norms. All of this contributes to the destruction of our great nation.
All these feminists that basically said you're trapped in a home, go get a job, freeze your eggs, take birth control, and all of a sudden women are way unhappier than they were 40 years ago. I just have to ask the question, why is that? Is it working? And maybe there are biological differences between men and women that we should respect, and that deep down a lot of women want to get married and have children. In fact, we should applaud it and we should support it, and we should say it means nothing if you're gonna go be a CEO of some shoe company or be some banker in London. What matters if you raise children and you have something to pass down long after you're gone.
Midnight circuits on. Heartbeat in the mix. Turn it on loud. Today
9 o'clock on the dot. There's only one place to be where X marks the spot. That's right, baby. It's the Daily Fix, special edition, Breaking the Chains of Feminism, episode 2. It's great to be in tonight with DCK Daly always next to me. Let's see. We got some people already rolling in. Dave's already in here. That's good. We got Dave. Anyway, man.
We got Dave.
Yeah,
that's all we need.
Weird. Yeah. I wonder if something's wrong with my chat. Usually more of them are rolling on in. All right, you guys. We'll see. Make sure you guys are sharing it out far and wide to your friends, your team rooms, your enemies. You know the routine for the special edition. Quote it out. And I promise you, me and DCK will tiptoe through the tools. We'll walk backwards through the darkness as we repost those quote posts. Drive them up to whatever timeline they left us out there on X. Blast them all the way off over to Iran. We'll see if our friends of the Sam want to lend us a hand. If there's anything left of all their land right here tonight on the special edition of the Daily Fix. Okay. Wow.
Yes.
We have some great guests tonight. We got Miss Margot in the house. We got Bodie down there. We'll be bringing.
I know.
Hopefully, we'll have just as much as we did in the last episode.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No. Last episode, I want to talk about a couple things before we bring them up. Just a few quick points. First, and this is not on the subject of feminism, but for those of you who haven't seen today, the World War II Memorial in Washington, D.C. was defaced and vandalized. Having had a father who was World War II, a veteran from World War II, it's almost like having a grave desecrated. It's not okay. And this is how far the left has gone. When you don't teach history, when you don't teach economics, when you don't teach civics, and instead you propagandize entire generations to hate America, that becomes the issue. This does dovetail in a way to feminism because they have strived for the destruction of the family. They've tried desperately to get males cornered and devalued, and they have, basically put on the altar of feminism things like abortion, you go queen, boss babe, all of this in favor of that versus other things. But also, interestingly enough, this week we saw a real strike back at feminism in many ways when Caroline Leavitt chose motherhood. She's got 2 young children under the age of 2. And she decided that her schedule was more important to keep with her family. She ought to be heralded. She ought to be uplifted. She ought to be supported in that. She will never regret. She won't go to her deathbed saying, I wish I'd worked more. Gosh, I really do. Now, last time we were on the show, we had 2 gentlemen come in, and I've heard a lot about it, an awful lot about it. I will say this. When I was approached to have these gentlemen on, I was absolutely fine with it. And here's why. These gentlemen have a problem with women. They have almost a hatred in a way. And what do you think created that? That could be perhaps feminists that created them. So I wanted to put on full display what the cost of it is for our men when they're backed into corners. Now, to those of you who are upset that they came on, I'm terribly, terribly sorry.
People upset, Kay. There was people upset.
There were people upset, but there will never be a time, there'll never be a place that I will be mansplained to in an anti-feminist special series by a male. Anytime, any place. I will be more than happy to have a discussion, but I'm not going to be told who's going to come on my show and who's not. See, my name's on it. See, Daily Fix.
What was it, a clip? They kind of got into it in a clip out there on the feed.
They got into it for a lot of reasons. I'm not saying these gentlemen are perfect, but they were created out of whole cloth because of it. Now, we've also got some things coming up in the next month for you guys to watch. The anniversary, the 1-year anniversary of Charlie Kirk's assassination is on 9/10. The 25th anniversary of 9/11 is on 9/11. And then the Constitution Day is 9/17. All 3 things leftists do not want to talk about. All 3 things we're going to talk about on the Daily Fix. Charlie, his life was cut far too short. having had a discussion with him on a couple of occasions, but particularly when I first met him, about coalition building. I know what the next step was going to be. And so for those of you who want to participate, I'm looking for pathfinders in every single county in the United States of America. People who we can communicate with, who we can get information from about what's happening on the ground, real time, in every county in the United States. I'm starting it with the battleground states, and we will be ready fully for 2028. It'll be a two-way information flow. We will give information as we get it, and you guys who are Pathfinders will get information as well. We also want videos, anything that's going on in your county. We want to know about, we want videos of it so that we can do things like a little bit of guerrilla marketing here and there. We're going on offense, boys and girls. We're going to take them out a whole new door. So if you're interested, go into my DMs, and we're going to have some great fun with this. Now, I'm so excited about tonight's show because these two ladies, okay, are remarkable, each in their own right. They have different backgrounds. Bodhi's an entrepreneur. I'm not going to dox where she lives, but she might be happy to tell you where she lives. But she's in a very difficult, behind the blue wall kind of city. And she's not married, no kids, but the fact that she started businesses and been an entrepreneur, she provides an interesting perspective, I think, on, what lives can look like in the face of feminism. She's a hero of mine for starting those businesses. Now, also, Margot in North Carolina, one of my absolute favorite people on X. She does remarkable work. She was a hero after the hurricane that struck North Carolina, Western North Carolina, so hard. She's been involved in politics for quite some time. She knows politics in North Carolina like nobody else. And she's part of the Punch Bowl. She has her own podcast, which I believe we are scrolling down below, aren't we? Or we should be. So we've got Bodhi and we've got Margot.
Yeah, we got technical difficulties all over the place. I'll be looking at your guys' chat from over here. That's the only place we can see it tonight. No idea why. You guys can share it out far and wide. Kay, before we get them up here, did you see the video by Phantom MAGA? I woke up.
Yes, I did.
An old man with leprosy, but it's still a funny one. It's with the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Oh, God.
Drax and AOC, look, you guys need to work out whatever weird shenanigans happen between the both of you. Because this whole thing was just out of hand. Drax, I'm disappointed. You should have known better not to mess with this socialist bimbo. Now you two work it out. Bye.
You literally violated me. Took advantage. In fact, I think you gave me a roofie. You dropped a pill in my drink. Admit it.
I apologize.
You got me drunk, and I thought I was in love. I mean, from what it looks like, you're in love with me? Don't look at me like that. Don't do that to me.
Rules. I'm breaking all the rules.
I mean, we all make mistakes, right?
One of the biggest problems we have in DC is that everyone's egos are too big.
An ego? Why wouldn't I? I mean, look at all this, man. Yeah, Detroit what? Detroit till I die, bitch. You feel me?
Yeah, absolutely.
AOC,
Oh my goodness, got cut a little short there. Technical difficulties all over tonight. Our Thursday.
I told Alex Stein that you're going to challenge him to a duel over AOC. So
He did. He said, he wants to go with that angle, huh? He's got a good idea.
Well, yeah. I sent you the thing last night. He had an AI himself of in a bathtub with, oddly enough, breadsticks from Olive Garden and marinara sauce and AOC. But
oh my goodness,
a little kinky for me. So I said, look out.
I'll play that clip in this duration a little bit later. Just dealing with all the technical difficulties here tonight. Wow. Lots of them out there, but we do have good guests in the house. And you guys are in there. I'll get over there to see your comments just a few minutes. So which one? We're going to have Bodhi up first, right? Okay.
We can have both. We can have both because I've got questions for both of them.
All right, bring them both on in. So we got Margot from out there on X-Man. She's also down that Punch Bowl in the morning on X Spaces. And Bodhi, who's the badass host over there at 10 o'clock on Tuesday night. Joker's Wild Smile and Dial has joined the crew there. Let's bring them both in.
Look at these beautiful ladies. Look at that. Why are conservative women always so gorgeous and the left are blue-haired, septum ringed, like hags? I don't understand. Uh, I'm so grateful that you guys have joined us because each of you has a remarkable background and remarkable experiences, um, and yet different. And so, Margot, to you first. Tell us about your background. You seem to be in a very male-dominated sort of business and lifestyle and life, and you had a very strong father who was also in the military. Am I right?
You did. I did. And a mother that stayed home, but had a few businesses, but they were kind of business ventures, for fun things that she loved. My father was served in the military for 30 years through World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. I was a late baby, very unexpected. And I have been in the tech industry for almost 40 years, 37 years, through two companies, and have done a variety of things. But I think the thing I'm most proud of is I was the only female engineer from my team that worked on the invention of the invention you call the iPhone.
Wow. That's why I wanted Margot here. Talk about a male-dominated industry. Anytime you get into the hard sciences like engineering, woo, those are some tough ladies who are engineers with them. Now, Bodhi, you have been an entrepreneur, and you've started several businesses. Tell us about your background.
Yeah, so I was a paralegal from basically kind of since I was a kid, since I was 20, and then COVID hit, and my brother wanted to start a construction business, so I was kind of like figuring out what to do, working from home for my being a paralegal, and I called my brother one day and I was like, what do we, this is weird, things are weird, and he's like, hey, want to go into business? So started a directional drill company, and then since then my mom wanted to open a craft shop too, so I do the back end of those, and then also I'm a paralegal, so kind of do my own thing, make my own schedule. So yeah, it's hard to own business, I'll tell you
construction. Male dominated business, and to a large degree law too, although more women are going to college and more women are going to law school than men these days. All right, so Bodhi, you're not married and you don't have kids. Now, is this something that you believe was instilled by any propaganda from the feminists not to get married, not to have kids, or you just haven't found the right guy?
Gosh, that's a tough question. I think that maybe a little bit, definitely not instilled by my family or anything like that. I was raised to be very independent and do my own thing for sure, but maybe a little bit. I just
which message really got to you?
I'm a girl, I can do it. But it's
girl
like
power.
It's like I can. Like that's all right, I can. And
but what you keep saying today, the matriarchy. Screw the matriarchy. What is the damn matriarchy? Explain that to me. What's the matriarchy? You guys say that, I think it's like the major arcana of the tarot. The matriarchy.
The patriarchy is what the feminists
women out there that march the matriarchy. Do they have their head matriarchs?
The feminists equate the patriarchy, which, in my opinion,
patriarchy, not the matriarchy. Then the patriarchy is what it's called.
Right. They fight the patriarchy, which is fighting the male-dominated, systematic discrimination against women, that sort of thing. Which I guess that's third wave feminism. I'm trying to think now.
They're fighting late night spaces on X. Got it. Okay.
Yes. I think we're in the fourth wave now, which has been remarkably silent. Bizarre to me. Now, Margot, really bizarre. Now, Margot, you are a mom, right?
I'm a mother. Yes, I am.
How did you balance motherhood and the very tough, very competitive world of engineering?
Well, I never planned to be a single mom. That was never my intent. It was kind of accidental. I'll just put it that way.
A beautiful accident.
Yeah, a very beautiful accident. But I also made it a priority once I realized I was going to be a single mom, that I was not going to put my daughter in a position where she had a stepfather. It just, to me, didn't feel like something that I wanted to put myself or her through. So I just buried myself in my work and made my schedule around her. And honestly, I've made my own life. I have many times said to bosses, I'm leaving. I'm just going to go work at Walmart. I don't need this job. And have been able to move myself into a position. I wanted to be closer to my parents, which is not, I don't live in a very suburban area or a city. I live in a very rural community. And I just told my boss one day, I'm going to quit and go work at Walmart. And she said, why would you do that? And I said, because I want to be next to my mom. She's dying. And she's like, get out of here. So I haven't worked in an office per se in 30 years.
Wow. And you, to me, have been the hero of this post-hurricane devastation in North Carolina. Remarkable work that you did. And are probably still doing.
To be honest and to be fair, if it weren't for Nick Sorter and some folks like Nick Sorter, Chad Caton, and Sean Hendricks, all I did was help them coordinate. I just knew the people on the ground because of politics, and I knew where people needed help. They actually did the installs.
Still getting Starlink put into all the first responders, remarkable work when our government couldn't be counted on to do a thing. Now, what is an experience, and both of you can answer this, what's an experience that you all had that could have made you vulnerable to a feminist message? If you can think of one, is there one particular thing where you say, aha, there's the patriarchy? Was there anything that made you at any point in your world sort of vulnerable to the feminist message?
I think in corporate America, it's pervasive. They constantly say things like, we've hired this many females and, we're putting this many females in executive roles, instead of just saying the best person gets hired. So it's labels of everything, not just women, but it's everywhere. And corporate America is label conscious. So I don't think it's ever been something that I haven't seen in corporate America. And I have to say, transparently, I have two sisters. One is a retired colonel in the Air Force, total male-dominated role. And my other sister is a emergency and trauma doctor, male-dominated world. And I think that we worked in these positions because our mom, my mother, who didn't work, had a mother who was a teacher in the 30s. And back then, that was a very respectable job, but it was not seen as, wasn't seen as something that is too far outside the home, right? Like there's some jobs that people go, oh, you're a nurse? And no offense to any nurses or any nurses, but those things were seen as acceptable career choices. And so my mom just was like, no, you're not going to do that. You're going to do something, broader than that. And so interestingly enough, we all ended up in crazy career fields with competitive placement with men.
I'll get to you in a second, Bodie. Margot, we got to talk. I got a daughter who's considering going into the Air Force because she wants to go to medical school and have it basically paid for, and she's interested in the trauma ER side. So it involves both of your sisters.
That's funny. Well, my older sister, the doctor's a total feminist liberal.
Wow. I think Reagan's going to survive even Boston University as a conservative, or at least somewhat. It's I can see it sneaking up.
I'm older than all of you, I'm pretty sure, and I don't think that we looked at it as feminism to get in the workforce and pull our weight and do things. When my dad was in the military, my mom was doing everything that he couldn't do because he was gone. So, that was a full-time job, and have 4 kids too. So I don't think my generation grew up with it. We were the quiet, sneaky ones that they got us. You know what I mean? We didn't see. I was not a Gloria Steinem burn your bra kind of chick. No, but we weren't taught that. That was not how it was presented to us. It was presented to us as achievement and being your own person. And so I feel kind of bad for my daughter because when she was little, she had these 2 aunts and me, and she actually had 3 aunts who all represented something that she felt like she needed to be. And what I noticed in her is she did all that. She got a PhD. She went to work for NASA. She's a rocket scientist. She did all that stuff. And then she said, like, this isn't cutting it for me, because she realized it was just a bunch of crap.
That's thanks to your upbringing too, though. You inoculated her, I think.
I don't think so. I'll tell you what I think, Kay, and I'll hand it over. But I'll tell you the funniest story I ever had that she told me. My daughter is very, very small. She's very petite. She was a cheerleader for the Baltimore Ravens, but she was a flyer kind of chick, very small. Probably wears like a size maybe 00. Anyway, she was in the elevator going to her job at NASA for the first day. And as she got in, this older man who was probably in his 60s or 70s said, "Oh, you must be the new secretary." And she looked at his badge and she goes, "No, actually, I'm your new boss."
You got to get her a T-shirt. My godfather used to be head of NASA, and he said, "Actually, I am a rocket scientist." So,
but she was mortified that she told this older gentleman, "I'm your boss." I'm like, "Why are you mad about that? Go to lunch with him. Get over it." But you can't be upset because you had to correct him because he thought you were the mail girl or the secretary.
that's what they thought. And by the way, I think I am probably older than you. I was born in '66.
No.
So really?
Really?
God, you look amazing. What's your secret? Dear God, we got to have a makeup tip show or, skincare or something because you look fabulous.
I thought Kay was at Woodstock, so my God.
You're mean, Dax.
At age 3, I would say, no, none of that. Now, Bodie, what about you? Do you think that there was a sort of something that made you vulnerable to the feminist message and, in your career that you could have turned to and embraced the feminist message fully at any point in your career?
Honestly, gosh. So I started out as a paralegal, which is, generally speaking, it's kind of, attorneys it's kind of a male dominated field, essentially.
Yeah.
So no, not in that field. I never really felt vulnerable to it other than socially, if I'm being honest, like just socially,
Right.
it kind of, friends saying, oh, he can't talk to me like that, or, whatever, when it's like, oh, well, so not really, not career wise. No. I think that I've been just fine. And I think that any hurdle that I have to jump over because I'm a woman, I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to be a woman. There's nothing wrong with that, so, and I don't really see any. If anything, it's fighting women that are upset about any kind of success. That's kind of been my biggest hurdle. I've been supported by most people, but yeah. So if that answers your question, sorry, it's so odd. It's so weird.
To me, it's so odd. One of the goals of feminism was, girl power, girl boss, go queen, all of that, right? And yet, I don't see any poll that shows, women being any happier, more satisfied. And they seem to be, look, I survived 6 years in an all-girls school, and I survived 4 years in a sorority. God help me. And believe me, I understand. But the good thing that it gave me, it never occurred to me, and I was in a very male-dominated business as well in DC, trust and believe. But it never occurred to me that I couldn't do anything simply because I was a female, simply because I sat down to pee. All right, that was never a job requirement. It was never, I would have been more insulted if I'd been hired because I'm a female than not hired because I was a female in many ways.
Absolutely.
It never occurred to me that I couldn't do something because I was female. Never once entered my mind. I knew I'd be more prepared. I'd be better at it than anybody in the room, male, female, or trans.
Yep.
Any of the above. Now, what part of feminism? I don't know if you guys have, it's so hard to figure out the different waves of feminism. First wave, second wave, third wave, fourth wave. I just started learning recently, thanks to Rachel Wilson's book here, among others, that the origins of feminism that a lot of conservative females still embrace, they don't know the history of it. That after the Civil War, there were all kinds of females who got involved in sort of the con job of seances, psychic, trying to reach those who'd been killed in the Civil War.
Wow.
And that's where a lot of the satanic anti-family sort of messaging goes with the Marxism message, right? And it's dovetails with all the stuff we're seeing right now in so many ways. So I used to be that chick who said, "Oh, well, first wave feminism, Susan B. Anthony, hello." Well, a lot of these, if you look into their backgrounds, most of them even had charges for fraud and being con artists in this whole seance psychic industry that sprang up after the Civil War. And that's where the birth of feminism started. That's why I tell you, Rachel Wilson's book is extraordinary on how the occult really started it, and it sort of threaded its way through it in this anti-religion, anti-family, all of that, and then the men. The most offensive to me, though, I think, has to be they worked so hard for Title IX, and as a former athlete, what bothers me the most is the silence on the part of the feminist community. Where are the gals at now? Right now, honestly, Title IX has been virtually destroyed because of the trans movement, which silence seems to support it. October 7th, what happened to Me Too and Believe All Women? Just kind of curious. The silence for me is deafening. That's one of my biggest things. They're taking away young girls' chances to go to college on a scholarship because of some man who can't make it as a male athlete. That bothers me deeply. Not just because they're females, but because they've worked all their lives to get to that point. And were you guys? Do you have any experience with Title IX? Were you athletes? Or what's the most offensive way of feminism for you?
So that is a pretty deep topic for me, as you probably already know. I did swim in college. I was a college swimmer, but I was the person who in North Carolina exposed the story of Peyton McNabb, who was a young high school athlete who lives here in my community, who was hit in the head by the trans athlete volleyball player. I took that film that they put up, that they immediately took down, scraped it, sent it to my now podcast co-host, and we made that go viral. And I'm proud to say that I just nominated Jennifer Bolcom, Representative Jennifer Bolcom, who sponsored the Women in Sports Act in North Carolina to make it illegal for boys to play in girls' sports, which was the end goal of me scraping that film footage. I think for me, I mean, my kid was a college cheerleader, and that may not sound like a lot, but it is.
It's very athletic.
But there are male cheerleaders, and they have a very specific position on a team. That's different than me or you swimming against a guy.
Yeah. I used to swim against East German women. They used to come over like in the 80s. The glass-nosed, who knows?
You might as well be, guys.
They were more masculine than anybody I dated in high school. I can tell you that.
We used to say the Russians were the worst.
Russians are bad, but these East German women, they would dive in the pool. They'd be halfway across by the time you got off the block. I mean, it was bad. It was bad. I kind of wonder if they.
I would say that to me has been the number one thing that has really sent me in an orbit. The fact that they're willing to champion a guy in a dress to beat the crap out of a girl than a woman. And like, listen, you can say whatever you want about what feminism is, but one thing it is supposed to be is uniting women, which that whole myth just gets unraveled when you talk about Title IX.
It does, and they fought so hard for it, and it seems as though it's been destroyed.
Well, explain that to me, the Title IX. What, do you guys got titles now?
Now, Title IX is the law that makes the sports equal for boys, men, including funding and accessibility.
A separation of opportunities, basically. I mean, and it just flat out destroyed it with this whole trans movement, Leah Thomas and all of that. I mean, it's infuriating.
So it's like, can I give you one more little piece of background about that, Drax, is that because of what has taken place with like this portal for football and all that, they're now cutting more the funding that women have earned throughout the last 50 years to be able to have gymnastics programs, swimming programs, basketball programs. That's all being cut to fund these pro football portals. So all the ground that feminists made to give women the opportunity to get scholarships in those have been taken back. University of Michigan's done away with their gymnastics team. I think Michigan State's done away with their swim team. They're eroding from women to pay into or get more money for this football portal.
You know, is my mic still feeding back now, Drax?
Just a little bit. When
A little bit? Should I turn it down a bit?
Yeah, just a little bit. It's
Okay. I will tell you this. I actually got into a whole story when I ran for Congress in North Carolina. It was in 2015, 2016 against Renee Elmers. And I got into it with, of all people, Montel Williams and Alyssa Milano on Twitter, because I dared to say that I didn't want my then minor daughter in a bathroom or a locker room with a male. And they raked me up one side of then Twitter and back down the other. So this has been going on for quite some time, folks. Quite some time. Now, as for that part of it, what about the locker rooms, women's spaces, you know, all of that sort of thing? Do you see it ever coming back or ever being protected? Well, I mean, I know that there's been executive orders, but do you think
we've passed the law here? It's over here. What's weird is they said you can't, you know, the law says you can't play sports if you're a man and a woman sport, but they haven't done the safe spaces part yet, which is weird to me. We passed a law that says there's only two genders, and we passed a law that says boys can't play in girls' sports, but we didn't pass a law that says women deserve their own bathroom and safe spaces. What is going on?
Yeah, that is crazy.
That's weird.
Ask Bodie, because I can get so deep in this topic.
Oh, Pat
Bodie, what do you think about the, you know, there's men and women bathrooms? That's always been a problem for people.
I'll say this
shit beat out of them over it. I'm surprised there isn't a new video every day out there of some dad going crazy.
Oh, I'm sure there is. What's up, King?
I got to tell you, Pat McCrory, and he was governor at the time, and he was no help. He literally started out supportive and then backed out like a chicken, flapping wings in the wind. As soon as, you know, NCAA and all these other people started canceling stuff in North Carolina, I'm like, for the love of God, why do I have more testosterone than this guy? Right.
Well, and that's what makes no sense. You know, the whole feminist movement was to allow us to make our own choices, right? Live the life that we want to live, do what we want without shame, without any kind of hindrance on our what we choose to do with our lives. So what it's turned into is if you want to be a stay-at-home mom, you get hate. If you want to be a career person, you get hate. If you want to, you know, just everything. Not only that, I mean, I can't imagine. I never had to deal with any kind of like locker room or sports issue. And I was an athlete growing up. I never had to deal with that. I couldn't imagine.
What was your sport?
Soccer was my main one, but I played most of them. But soccer was my thing. But I was usually mid. But they constantly put me in goalie, which I hated.
Oh, my daughter was a goalie since 7th grade varsity.
But
she actually got hurt. She had two avulsion fractures in her hand. She goes, "Mom, I want to be a surgeon." No, I'm done. No. So no, she was a 5-sport athlete, and this is why it infuriated me because the school she went to started putting men on the field with her, and I was like, "Oh no! We're not playing that. That's too dangerous." To me, and tell me if I'm wrong, ladies. To me, young women, the generations after us, they've sort of been sold a bill of goods. Like you said, Bodie, that motherhood is to be derided that choosing to stay home and raise children is to be derided, that you are not worth anything unless you're bringing home a paycheck or whatever the story is. But even more so, I don't think young women today know where their power lies. And I think we've given up an awful lot of power. What do you guys think?
Buddy, you want to start?
Well, what do you mean as far as power goes? I don't feel like I have lost any power other than to the modern day feminist movement.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Look,
that's my power. Yeah.
My great grandmother used to say, I never ever want to sink to the level of equality. Why would I want to do that?
Never.
And when you look at the background, again, I'm going to tout this book. I'm telling you, it's well researched. It is remarkable. She talks about what some of the myths are of feminism. For example, women could own property. Women did have an awful lot more rights than was even expressed. No, we didn't have the right to vote, but you know what? A lot of men didn't either. So, you know, the amendment did an awful lot for sure, but at the same time, I wonder at what cost in some ways. Not that I want to give up my right to vote, but just think about if some of these lefty suburban women were not voting.
Last time you guys didn't have the vote, you holded up the liquor for us. You didn't want us to put that back.
See?
So what would you do next, when you want it back?
No, I mean, there were women in Congress. There were women, there were women who owned businesses. There were women who were literary stars. The idea that women were chained to a stove and they had no opportunity. What we lost and what this generation doesn't know, these next generations, they don't know, the women do not know where their power lies. They've lost chivalry. Men aren't chivalrous anymore.
I think there's a big comeback. I'm going to give young people more credit than that. There's a big comeback. I mean, I think young men who are, and there's a lot of them that are conservative, it's not them. It's not on them. It's young women act like they are crazy to date a conservative guy who would open the door for them. Or, what is interesting to me is the dynamic that came around because of COVID. Because if you think about it, these kids got locked down their senior years or their freshman years in college. And they had the opportunity to build solid relationships where they got to know each other and they weren't in pressure situations at a frat party or, showing who has the best dress, whatever. It's become more genuine to see relationships in younger people than I've seen in forever. And I've seen a lot of young people turn to traditional family values, which I very much appreciate seeing.
Oh yeah, I think that Charlie Kirk has a lot to do with that too, in reaching out to young people, but young men in particular. I think it's up to us though as well to now reach out to young women. I don't see accomplished conservative women out there as much fighting back. This is the time, to me, to reach out and say, look, equality isn't through a bedroom door. You don't have to debase yourself in any way, shape, or form. You don't, men are hunter-gatherers. They like to chase young ladies. Let them chase. Let them catch every once in a while, but not very often. But there's a lack of understanding. My boys come to me. I've got two sons as well. And they come to me and they say, this shocked me. They said that they will not approach any young lady.
I've heard that a lot.
Any situation whatsoever in a bar or whatever, because they don't want to, quote unquote, catch a case.
That's the saddest thing. That's the saddest thing in the world. That's terrible. Horrible. Terrible. I worried for every man and I was lucky enough. I've had a lot of good men around me. Yes. I was worried for every single one of them on the just in case they meet a nightmare, because terrible.
It bothers me. I was always more worried about my sons than my daughter growing up. I knew my daughter, good Lord, God help the man she marries. She, as a soccer goalie, would probably make a man speak like Michael Jackson for the rest of his life. If he ever got on tour with her, she can handle herself, believe me. But my boys, I was more worried about because this to me seems so opportunist, and in this quest for equality, or equity, whichever one they want. I don't want either. I like the idea of a man as protector. They're built differently than us. They just are. They're physically able to, thanks to things like force doctrine. They're able to protect. They're able to enforce. They're able to, protect their family. All of that. I don't mind that. I like strong men. I really do. I like men's men. Do you think the feminist movement has had an effect so much that that's why we're seeing this rise of beta males and, soy boys and all of that?
I would just say Bodhi is in the best position ever because she's young and single and in demand from a conservative man who probably doesn't realize that you are conservative or that you don't, you don't espouse those crazy values. And if I were in your shoes and your age, you've got the world by the tail. They don't know what to do.
But you do. No, you really do, though, Bodhi. And this is why I wanted, folks of different ages and different experiences and different backgrounds, because each one of us almost sort of shares this unspoken similar trait as conservatives of we didn't think about it as I'm a female walking into a room full of males. It never occurred to me at all. And yet it was also women who, more times than not, were not helpful in the least. And in fact,
they're the worst. They're the
jealous,
worst.
backstabbing. I don't know about y'all, but there are times I really wonder. I tend to go internal. If I'm seeing someone who's successful as a female, I go internal and saying, what am I doing wrong? Because I'm not doing it as well as she is.
Right.
God, she's good. And I want to support her. I don't want to tear her down. Why isn't that, you think, part of the milieu out there among women? Do you think it's feminism that has done it? Or do you think it's just competitiveness because of, what do you guys think is the problem there?
I don't think that it's even competitive. I don't even think it's that. I think it's even less than that. I mean, that would be one thing, right? You can respect that a little bit, maybe, possibly. But what I have a problem with is being essentially shamed or told that I am less than because I'm a woman.
What? Really? When?
That's what feminism tells me, is that I am less than. So I've got to fight and I've got to be,
oh yeah,
bold
That's
and loud
true.
and a boss bitch or whatever. I don't. I just need to be myself, do what I want. That's the whole point, is to do what you want with your life. You don't have to create some thing that all these women or men, whoever want you to be. Just do what you want. If I want to be a stay-at-home mom, gosh darn it, I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom. If I want to be a business owner, I'm going to do that. Granted, I hate being a business owner. It's hard. But, the whole point in feminism to me from the beginning, not modern feminism, but in the beginning, the entire point was so you can live your own life. So you're not, I don't know, but, sold off for, whatever from your parents, or, you get to do what you want. And, I don't know. I like being a girl. I like not getting punched in the face at a bar, or having someone protect me. I like, you know what I mean? I like being a girl, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And I don't like people telling me that there is something wrong with it. And that's feminism. They want to, oh, you wear makeup. Yeah. And
I do.
You know what I
Thank
mean? Like,
God.
okay, so I'm doing what I want. If I don't want to, I won't. If I want to, I will. It's just.
So you guys feel all this stuff's holding you back. Like some guys walked away from the dating scene. Am I right?
I don't feel like listen, I'm a little bit of a different position. I knew very early on that I was going to be still a single mom, and I just I knew that, you get to the point where 17 years to raise a kid by yourself. And I just didn't want to put myself in the dating pool. It just wasn't right. It wasn't the right timing. My kid was the most important thing for me. And I made that sacrifice. I also have seen women treat other women so dirty just because they're, one, insecure, but two, they're feminists and they feel like the only way to get ahead is to beat the shit out of another woman in the corporate world,
Right.
online, whatever.
But what's up with some of these women that beat the shit out of the men? I see these, and I'm not going to mention names, but one in my newspaper, I'm not going to read the little drama back and forth between a couple that broke up all day long on the internet. Why?
Oh no.
Why do they do that? Why does a woman attack the man usually and do everything they can to bring that man down? I think men are put off by that, whether it's on Instagram, TikTok, X, you name it. But we see it all the time. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about the women that take their relationship onto an activity feed after the relationship is ended?
I think I have.
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know. What about you, Margot?
I don't think people ever know I have a boyfriend, I date, whatever. They think I sit. It's so funny because the bitchy women, she's so lonely. She doesn't have anybody. Blah, bitch, you don't know what I have because I don't put it out there because it's none of your damn business.
And what you're saying is like if your husband's boyfriends and y'all left them, you wouldn't attack them in the timeline. You keep that between you guys because I see that a lot.
I don't know, Drac. No one's leaving anybody.
I would go after another woman over something stupid and petty before I'd go after my relationship or someone else's relationship.
I've been married for 30 years in December, and believe me, no one's going to take the kids, so we're stuck.
No one's taking the kids.
No one's going to be petty, right? Like you don't put your business out there.
But people do it all the time.
I'm kind of an open book.
And then you see, even though I'm not saying the males are innocent, you see them battaling back and forth.
So dumb.
One other. What do you think, Bodie? Put it on the timeline like they do. Did they do it because they're vindictive?
Are you in a relationship, Bodie?
You said about them maybe being a boss.
You know what I mean? How they put it on Facebook.
Is that part of the boss bitch thing?
Together.
Facebook official.
Is that part
yes. No, I do think that that's what it is. I think that there's pressure from mainly probably other women, honestly, to assert your dominance and don't let him talk to you like that and don't let him treat you like that and whatever. And so I do, and I'm sorry for everyone that's sorry. It's just what I think. I think that there is I don't have a lot of I don't have anything to prove. I do what I do. I don't need to go beat up on some ex-boyfriend who I loved at one point. So calm down. You know what I mean? I can't stand that. It doesn't make sense to me. But I think that there's this pressure where it's like, you let him talk to you like that, you better, prove your worth and whatever. And it's like that. I wouldn't need to on the timeline.
Maybe if you're still up on a pedestal, no, that's what I'm saying. Chivalry is dead in many ways. And feminism to me killed it. And that's the fault of us. We allowed this propaganda to propagandize entire generations. And then you add into it like the no history, no economics, no civics. And it's a recipe for disaster. I think that's why there's the having babies is down, getting married is down. We're looking at our own destruction in many, many, many ways because of this feminist
on a timeline, doxing men and stuff on there. I mean, you're looking at your own destruction. Men will walk away and say, to hell with it.
Yeah. With good right. With good right.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the caterwauling, gals on the View, for God's sakes. I really, no, I am so proud of this series because it is, to me, it's so incredibly important that young women in particular see that there is an option. In my career, there was never a nanny. There was never a daycare. I took my kids with me. I didn't view it as an either or proposition at all. I got married a bit later, about 30, had my first child at 34, my last at 40. And yet my mom had me at 40 as well. My dad at 45. So I'm with you there, Margot, on the older parents.
tell me this: would you shame another woman who did it differently than you? Say they did have a nanny. Say they did have the opportunity to have. Would you?
I
No,
celebrate
right?
it. Like I celebrate Caroline Levitt for making that choice, that very difficult choice of deciding that motherhood, especially the years 0 to 5, are incredibly important. I took my kids with me everywhere: White House meetings, Capitol Hill meetings, and actually, I think that they grew up a bit differently, anyways, and because of that, um, because I wanted to make sure, above all else, that no one else raised my children, not in this environment, not in this culture, number one. And number two, they learned how to behave in every single, they knew they'd get a treat from mommy if they behaved. So they learned young. When you're an older mom in particular, you have to raise them different anyways, because you're not going to be around forever. And knowing that, you have to raise them a bit more independent, a bit more feisty, confident, all of that. And to do that, you have to be there. What they want is time from you, time more than anything else. And you can't get those years back. There was no career, there was no job, nothing that would beat that for me. It's not going to say on my tombstone that she wrote really great press releases. It's going to say wife and mother. That's my first job, my first duty. That's my legacy. Nothing I do is going to matter a hill of beans by comparison to those kids I've raised.
And certainly not cutting down someone else's choices.
Correct.
No,
You know what I mean?
not at all.
Yeah.
And the other part of that is really women that are in touch with themselves, buddy, don't care about their other people's choices because they don't impact you. It's none of your business. Not saying this to you directly, but it's like none of your business, right?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Well, now I want to make sure you guys can go have a nice night. I know, you guys have lives, families, things to do. You're busy ladies, but I want to give you an opportunity to talk about what you guys are doing right now with your podcast, your careers, anything that's interesting that you would like to get out there, that's coming up for you, that you're doing, that you're excited about, anything like that. Any final thoughts on feminism, anything like that? Go for it, ladies.
Go ahead, buddy.
I'm just living. I'm trying to juggle businesses and work and keep my head afloat. That's
Where can they find you on X?
Where can they?
Yep. Give us your handle.
Oh, it's Bodie Ann with an E, Cole, Cole, just at Bodie Ann Cole, BODHIANNECOLE.
Yeah, don't sell yourself short. They can also find you at 10 o'clock on Tuesday nights, hanging out at the Joker's Wild.
There we go.
Mile and Dial. Yes.
Dial, baby.
Margot, the busiest lady in North Carolina.
So we're knee deep in politics here in Western North Carolina. We just we just elected a new congresswoman to be on the first woman ever to be on the ballot for the congressional candidate here in NC 11. Tonight they elected her replacement for the NC House in District 117. So the district is fired up. We're in the middle of what we got to make it or break it win. We do a podcast, Sloan and I do, Tuesdays and Thursdays, NC Political Tea, starts at 8 o'clock. Love to have you on there. I work most of the time. Sometimes I'm in Punch Bowl. If I am, I try to host on Tuesdays from 8 to 11. And I met a friend tonight. Buddy, it's good to meet you.
Good to meet you. Very nice to meet you.
It's great. You guys are definitely my heroes. Follow these ladies. Oh, give out your handle, Margot.
Oh, Margot NNC. Margot INWNC.
Yeah, and I remember the Hurricane working with you, Margot, on that.
Yeah.
You and Bill Elmore down at the X Spaces.
That's right. And I also have a TikTok just in case. It's Margot INNC. It's I haven't used it in a while, but I'll be coming back here shortly. I'm making the announcement on your show personally.
Oh, we got some news, Jax. We got some news. I will tell you, Margot, I'm going to be probably contacting you because I'm dead serious about having someone in every single county as a Pathfinder. I think you're going to like this little project. And it doesn't have a lot of time involvement, but I think it's going to be really helpful, and it's going to pick up the mic from where Charlie dropped it. and we can fulfill what he wanted to do in terms of coalition building, and it's going to help us in 2028. May even help us a bit in these next 90 days. So
The next 90 days are killer for me right now.
I know. Oh God, we're being pulled in so many directions. But if you guys want to know of ladies like this who actually do real life stuff, real life, not just on X, but actually get it done, follow them, turn on notifications, and Sloan and Margot do an amazing show. Drax and Joker and Jersey do a great show with Bodie on Tuesday nights. It's kind of funny. Smile and dial. You can actually call in. It's kind of cool. The things they develop around here. But I want to thank you guys so very, very, very much for coming in. Next week, we're actually going to have Deborah DeMoss Fonseca, who's a hero of mine. She was Senator Jesse Helms of North Carolina. She was his foreign affairs key person when he was chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee. She's helped out with Marco Rubio's presidential campaign. She had 5 kids in 5 years. Oh my God. And they were the best raised kids on planet Earth. She worked in DC all these years. Now she's a Sotheby's real estate agent up there with in DC.
There's a lot of real estate up there right now.
Everybody's going to be moving after the midterms. That's what happens. But no, follow these ladies and make sure you tune in next week. We've got stuff coming up on the Fix. Looks like we're going to have a big time governor coming in to tell us about his new book.
I'm still working on a midget too. I'm trying to book one. So
Okay, we'll talk to Alex Stein about that. We'll get you your midget. Damn it, Drax. I swear to God.
I actually have been scouring X Spaces. I even started a coffee space this morning looking for anyone out there.
If you can't get a midget, bring a chihuahua.
It's like a Where's Waldo on X trying to find one.
Oh my gosh, Margot, you haven't met my new puppy.
Is it a chihuahua?
No, it's a Pomeranian. His name is Leo. He's a chick magnet.
Aww.
Yeah, he's about 2.5 pounds. Patrick has him right now, but because he had the zoomies. So he was zooming around. My son, one of my sons, young Jack, and his girlfriend, hopefully my next daughter-in-law, my first daughter-in-law.
No pressure.
No pressure. She's wonderful. Livia. They decided I needed this puppy, and I'm not sure why. But yeah, no, he's pretty darling. He's going to have his own Twitter. Yeah, Leo is his name. He looks like a little lion. And he's going to have his own little Twitter account. But y'all, these ladies are powerhouses. Follow them, turn on notifications, follow them, and listen to their podcast. Support them in everything you do. If you guys have ads, we know we have an ad for Joker, Smile and Doll. If you have an ad for your podcast for the Punch Bowl, we'll be happy to play it on the Fix.
Yeah, look us up.
That's what we do. At the end of the show, we play ads for other podcasts across the spectrum, and we try and promote what you guys are doing.
Well, thank you for having me on.
Yeah.
And you too, Kate. You're amazing too. So
I'm here doing the Lord's work in the Devil City.
All right,
Try it.
Be good. And if you can't be bad, hang out down in the studio while we wrap things up. We'll be down.
Yes, we'll be down in just a second.
I'm going to take off, ladies and gentlemen. I have
no problem.
All right.
You got calls to do. You got work to do. We're going to talk soon, though, about this Pathfinder thing, because I think you're going to have fun with it.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, Margot. You guys jump back anytime. You're welcome on the Daily Fix.
Anytime. You guys have anything to announce? Come on.
There we go. All right, Kay. Wow, good episode. Good episode. We learned a lot.
There are folks, I want to tell you guys, there are folks who asked me to do this series, some powers that be. And what that tells me is that there aren't enough of us females out there lending our voices, our experience to taking on feminism head on. Next week, we're going to go even harder.
Okay, when I see that in the timeline, all of them whining around, sometimes I think it's the Mask of the Red Death. It affects both sides. A lot of time I thought the feminism was the 50s, but no, it's the Mask of the Red Death over on the right.
It does. And I think, quite honestly, Drax, it contributed to things like the rise of Andrew Tate, the rise of, all of these folks who are considered toxic males and all of that.
And something happened to piss them off. You know?
Yeah, there's a lot that this has woven into. But next week we're going to have one of my heroes, mentor, all of that. I'm also trying to get someone else on, which I think you might be surprised about if I can.
Right, man. We're ready for The Rock himself. We'll be on Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
No, not Dwayne The Rock Johnson. There'll be somebody else.
Okay. As long as it ain't the Brooklyn Brawler, we'll be doing okay.
Oh, I think you'll be surprised.
I can't wait. We're always looking forward to it. Tuesday night at 10 p.m. EST, the only place to be is Joker's Wild Smile and Die. You'll find me, Jersey Boy, and the Joker. And Kay, we might have a witch this week as our own guest.
You sit bound by the laws of logic. Just beyond the horizon lies a frequency unseen, where the bizarre finds a voice. Footprints that vanish. Metallic craft gliding through skies. Whispers from shadow figures. Ghost steps in an empty corridor. Don't keep your secrets in the dark. Call in at Joker's Wild, Tuesdays at 10 p.m. East.
386-227-7284. That's the number you'll save in your phones. You'll dial in on the second hour of the show Tuesday night, where we take your calls, get your questions in, and hear your ghost stories. Make sure you tune in to Joker's Wild Smile and Die with me, the badass Bodie, and Jersey Boy. What's up, Kay?
Next week, what you're going to do? You're going to have what? Is it witches?
Yeah, it's well, we had an episode on witches before, but this time in my coffee space this morning, I met a real witch that's on X.
No,
got to come in for this. And hopefully this witch herself will be able to actually read our tarot cards, and she even has, I shit you not, a crystal ball.
No,
I want to see this.
Will it be on camera with her?
Yeah, she should be on camera. I'm waiting for her to get back to me.
Like the whole crystal ball and everything.
Whole crystal ball, man. She's probably like the Witch of the West.
Ooh. Every time I think of a crystal ball, I think of the Haunted Mansion at Disney World.
I asked her if she stole it from a gypsy. She said no. It was $400 crystal ball. If you pay $400 for a crystal ball, it better tell you something.
Yeah, or it's going to get broken.
I'll tell you what, $400 for a crystal ball. We'll have it displayed Tuesday night at 10 p.m. You know what's going on out there on X Spaces right now? That's right. It's Factor Foolery with JB, the Joker, and Miss Lisa. Factor Foolery, you be the judge. It's live right now on X Spaces. You can hop over there, grab a mic, tell them it's all right. Maybe tell them a fact or a lie tonight. That's up to you. On Factor Foolery right now happening out there on X Spaces. Friday night. Oh, I know. It's a great show. It's a great show. Friday night, there's only one place to be. Joe Lanu and the Night Court crew with his hit show on X Live and Rumble, The Grand Jury. Joe Lanu and the Night Court crew, his hit show, The Grand Jury. Check it out at 9 p.m. on Friday nights right there on X Live. Then follow him over, tiptoe through his tulips till you join the After Space with Joe Lanu and the boys at 3D Response. Speaking of 3DResponse.com, there's only one place to keep your kids safe. That's the multi-layer solution.
Dear parents that are listening here today, our children need us to demand modern multi-layered security safety like fire systems have done. It is a response to a deadly threat. Children need tactical tools to survive should that moment unfortunately happen. Through a system that provides cover, concealment, and communication, this absolutely can be achieved. 3D Response Systems has demonstrated this and provides tours explaining every crucial detail.
I went there as a skeptic. I'm not a skeptic any longer.
So let's unite and fund 3D Response Systems for our schools, protecting the children entrusted to us.
That's right. Protect the children. Trust them to us. It's 3DResponse.com, the multi-layer solution. Check out their website. You can also support them through their merch too. But you want to download that information. You want to share it to your friends, your school boards, and your community. Get it out there because it's the only way to keep these kids safe. A gun-safe zone, a gun-safe solution. Rock on. All right, Kay. When we came on tonight, I clicked it too early and ended it, so I'm going to have to play it again. Phantom MAGA, I woke up this morning, and ever since AOC froze the eggs and got rid of the old man, I have been being tagged all over the place with people telling me, hey, Drax, yo, she's single. I warned you guys it would happen.
Encouraging this.
I warned you all it would happen, but you know what? Unfortunately, I didn't have nothing to do with it. She blocked me from her DMs from back in when I used to do pub chat spaces. I'm still waiting for AOC to unblock me. If her and her campaign are listening, please, it would be nice. But let's take a look. I woke up to this, Kay, from Phantom MAGA Studios. Check this out.
Drax and AOC, look, you guys need to work out whatever weird shenanigans happened between the both of you. Because this whole thing was just out of hand. Drax, I'm disappointed. You should have known better not to mess with this socialist bimbo. Now you two work it out. Bye.
You literally violated me. Took advantage. In fact, I think you gave me a roofie. You dropped a pill in my drink. Admit it.
I apologize.
You got me drunk, and I thought I was in love. I mean, from what it looks like, you're in love with me? Don't look at me like that. Don't do that to me.
Rules. I'm breaking all the rules.
I mean, we all make mistakes, right?
One of the biggest problems we have in DC is that everyone's egos are too big.
An ego? Why wouldn't I? I mean, look at all this, man. Yeah, Detroit what? Detroit till I die, bitch. You feel me?
Yeah, absolutely.
AOC, I'm trying to let you down easy. Freeze your eggs all you want. In fact, just sell them to Walmart. Because I don't want them.
Oh, come on, Jonathan. I look like an old man leper. What we got through it, Kay was doing the interview. Wow. Me and AOC. We go way back.
Yeah. I'll put up with a midget on. I don't think, yeah. If you want to bring on AOC, there's going to be a fight.
Well, she might join the party, Kay. You never know. Put that red MAGA hat on and just dance right in. You have to cycle around, though, man. Tell her, like, no socialism, all that stuff. But it might take something. We could have her work with a lady up in Maine.
Fantastic.
Susan Collins, the one full of youth and vigor. Yeah. She would give her the, take her out, explain to her.
A trans person who, no.
Are you comparing her to a trans person? I mean, the buck teeth stuff. She froze her eggs to prove to the country, hey, business first. We'll have fun later.
Yeah, tremendous. Great. The fact that that's a very shallow genetic pool bothers me in the first place. But it also bothers me that you want to bring her over to our side because, quite frankly,
I want to bring her over to our side. I was hoping that's the special guest you're bringing into the Daily Fix. When you said you got some, wow, I was like, dang, we finally landed her.
No. As a matter of fact, if she came over to our side, Drax, you know this. You know this, okay?
You need some Susan Collins training first.
She would literally, the IQ in both sides would be taken down. She's the highest IQ on her side, the lowest on ours.
We have to indoctrinate her, make her understand. We're not going to do a new Green Deal.
Right.
America's into new steels. That's what
I don't think so. What I can't wait for is any debate that she might be in when she runs for president of the United States. If she runs,
her and Kamala.
Put up against J.D. Vance or against Marco Rubio. I don't care which. She'll get shellacked, Drax, and I will sell tickets, and I will enjoy every single moment of it.
I remember when she was going to take on Chuck Schumer.
Remember she still might. I don't know. She's got time to wait.
She's the leader of the party. She's the leader of the Democratic Party.
She's not the leader of a troop of Girl Scouts. Give me a break.
Come on, man. She led the bar well in the Bronx. You got to give her credit where credit's due.
She needs to go back.
Go back. Okay.
Please.
I mean to AOC. So we'll be on tomorrow at 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. EST, as always with the Daily Fix, with all your news and clips, and hopefully a midget, man. I hope I can find a little fun for us. I've been out there all day on X looking for one. If anybody has a midget that would like to be our guest on the Daily Fix, please contact my DM or Miss Daly's DMs or Secretary Jessica's. Man, we're always looking for a little person for a little fun to be live on the air with us.
Oh, my God.
There you go. All right. We'll be back here, as Kay said, with Betsy DeVos next week, Thursday, 9 p.m. Make sure you tune in.
Deborah DeVos Fonseca.
Deborah DeVos Fonseca. All right.
Yeah, Betsy DeVos is a former Secretary of Education.
There we go. We get them mixed up. Man. We like trading cards in this place. All right, man. We'll be back, like I said, at 9 o'clock with the special edition. But tomorrow night, 8 p.m. EST, join me and DCK at the Daily Fix as always. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see what's going on with that X chat out there. It was lonely not to get to read your comments tonight, but we sure will be reading them tomorrow. If you can't be good, take your ass out to X Spaces. Come off mute. See if she gives you the boot. Direct message her and say, look, lady, it don't matter if you blocked us. We're cool. We're just bad.